So welcome to another episode of the Women Petpreneurs podcast. I do host two, so sometimes they get a little confused there. Anyway, so I want to thank Melanie Charland for being here. Appreciate it.
Yes, thanks for having me.
All right, so I always like to start off with, how did you get involved in the pet industry?
Well, I started working for PetSmart actually just as an employee and quickly moved up that ladder, so to speak, becoming a manager in different departments. And long story short, the district manager put me on an IDP, which is an internal development plan at 19 to become a store manager and then a district manager. And I was so excited about that. I thought my future was going great. And the last step was proving that I could run the business inside and out. And the last step to that was the grooming salon. I had run the boarding facility there. And then they said, basically, like, they had no idea. They're like, oh, this is like super easy. You just go run this successfully for a year, and then we'll move you back out onto the floor. So they put me straight through. They kind of rushed me through even faster than their schooling regularly is. I was never a bather. So I kind of just got thrown into it. And basically, once I got in there, I realized I never wanted to leave. I was like, oh, this is like amazing and a lot more difficult than they think it is on the outside. So,
Yeah, I don't think corporate, because I worked for Petco.
yeah.
And I found myself one day in the pool in Puerto Vallarta, I think it was. I
Mm.
think it was Puerto Vallarta, in the resort pool with somebody at that time, Jay had just like bought PetSmart. So this might have been like 3 owners before. Okay.
Oh, okay.
And we started a conversation, and yeah, I can tell you, they have no clue as to what goes on in the grooming room at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah, they really didn't. They thought it was super easy, and like they thought the groomers in there were lazy, and the reality of it is they're just severely understaffed and overworked. So yeah,
Yeah.
I worked there for 5 years, and then I did go work for Petco as well. So I got
Yeah.
to experience it both.
Yeah. So yeah. Yeah. They don't have a clue. But anyway, that's okay, because
Yeah,
we have a clue. We know what we're doing.
right.
Right.
Yeah, and thankfully I learned about continuing education. So
All right. So I want
I,
to first start off with, I know you're a competitor.
mhm.
So tell me a little bit first, how did you get involved in the competitions?
So it all started from working, at PetSmart and wanting to know more. I felt really ill-equipped, to put it better. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know certain haircuts. So I started looking online and watching YouTube videos and finding anywhere that I could to learn. And it just so happened that a friend said, hey, there's this seminar by you. Do you want to go with me? And it was on my birthday, and it was really close, in Delray Beach. I'm in West Palm, and it was by Jonathan David. So I was like, yeah, let's go, like, take it, and not knowing what to expect. And when I got there, I chose like the hands-on where I got to work on a poodle. And he was just super encouraging, teaching me about grooming shows, which I didn't really knew existed. I think I had heard somebody talk about it before, but it was like this mythical creature I didn't really know about. And Jonathan David was encouraging, and he said, your scissor work is really nice. If you ever wanted to compete, I would encourage you to, and this might place in a competition. So that kind of just opened my mind, and that was in June. 2 months later, I got my poodle. I rescued him, and a month after that, I competed for the first time.
So which show
Um,
did you compete at?
so I went to Hershey. That was my first show. I didn't compete there though. That was just kind of to get the lay of the land. The first show I competed at was my local show, which is Orlando Fun in the Sun.
Okay.
So, and I didn't place my first time. It was really nerve-wracking.
I bet it would. I give props to anyone who goes into the ring.
Yeah.
I had very briefly considered that when I was still working at Petco, because I had 2 Bichons that the owners wanted them in show trims, and I had gotten
Mm.
at least good enough for entry. Let's leave it there. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then, I quit and stormed
Mhm.
off and started my own mobile grooming business. And we'll get
Yeah.
to that. But I remember being at my first show and not realizing what it was all about. And
There's
my
a
first
lot.
show, yeah, my first show was, so it's not even like I went to like a small show to start off with. My first show was Hershey. And it was like,
Same.
holy cow.
Yeah, it was very overwhelming. I remember going back to my hotel room multiple times and just being like staring at the wall, like so overwhelmed.
Yeah. You know what?
It's a big show.
It's a big show. It's the
Mhm.
biggest, it's the biggest grooming show. It's not the biggest show as far as for the
Right.
pet industry is concerned, but it's the biggest grooming show. So
Mhm.
I highly recommend it. I have a very fond place in my heart for that show because it was my first show. Um,
Yep.
but and I'll be there. Will you be there this year at
I
Hershey?
will. It'll actually be my second time going, so it's been quite a few years. I'm really excited.
Okay. Are you going to compete?
Hopefully, I'll get in. You know, you have to sell a kidney these days, but hopefully, I'll
And,
get in. I'm gonna
and be
try for
really fast
sure.
at the computer. What level are you?
I just moved up to intermediate actually, so I'm super
Nice.
excited. Yeah. That happened at Intergroom. I won the Rising Star Best in Show. It was really awesome.
Okay. Okay. So for anyone who's even thinking about competing, all right,
Hmm.
who's this little thought in the back of your head,
Yeah.
what would be advice that you would give them?
Really just if they could find someone that they could shadow, like a mentor, and be an assistant to them. Honestly, looking back on it, had I done that, I feel like I would have had a lot less questions. When I went into it, I really didn't know what I was getting myself into, didn't know even how to properly prep a dog, and how that all worked, because a lot of times you will have to use their facilities for prepping and all of that. So if you find a competitor that you vibe with, and usually they're looking for somebody to help out, they're usually competing in multiple entries. So they have multiple dogs. And I think that that's the best thing for somebody interested in competing. The second thing I would say is to start in a less stressful, in my opinion, competition. So there's that rescue roundup or freestyle, which is one of my favorites, because it's what we do every day. We don't unfortunately have perfect dogs every day. So I think that that puts or alleviates some of the stress of it all. Not all of it, but most of it.
Okay. Um, that's good advice. That's good advice. I, I, at some point, I would like to do a rescue rodeo. All right.
Yeah.
Um, and possibly, I might be able to do. What day is generally speaking rescue route rodeo?
I think it changes, but from what I know, it's typically the last day, Sunday, right before creative, and they
Okay.
usually have abstract that day too.
All right, because I am not actually teaching Sunday at
It might work out.
I may give I may
That would be so awesome if we got into it together.
yes, but then I have to like dig out my equipment. It's like, I've been retired.
Yeah,
Okay, I've been retired from grooming for 4 years now. All right.
we gotta
And
drag you back out.
they have to drag me back out. All right. I'm gonna have to go find all my equipment.
Yeah,
All right. Or maybe I'll just buy new stuff.
that works too, especially if you're gonna do it at Hershey. You're gonna have a ton of options.
Okay, we'll see what I decide to do. All right. Now
Yeah,
I'm
that's
gonna pay
exciting.
now I'm gonna have to pay attention to when it drops.
Hmm. It should be any day. They say mid-July, so.
Oh, okay. This is
And
timely. Okay, this is timely. Now
mhm.
this is being recorded mid-July. It's probably not going to air until end of July, maybe even the first week of August. I forget which. But anyway,
You'll have to update then in the notes or something if you got in.
yeah, I will have to. So anyway, now I got something to look forward to. All right. So
Yeah.
moving it along. Where do you see where would you like to be as far as a competitor is concerned? How far do you want to take this?
I really wanna take it as far as I can. I try not to put extreme goals. They're kind of like far out goals, because if I do, I end up just putting too much pressure on myself, and I already struggle with anxiety. I don't need more.
Mm.
But one of my big goals that would just be kind of one of those pinch me moments would be to make it to groom team. You know,
Okay.
that starts accumulating once you're in open. So that's what I'm working towards now is just got into intermediate, seeing how that goes and working my way to open to eventually maybe getting on groom team. And from there, I would like to start teaching and holding seminars and teaching the younger generation of all the things that I learned along the way.
Okay, good. And I will tell you, go for it.
Yeah.
The next generation of groomers needs to step it up.
Yeah. There's always something to learn. And I feel like in this day and age where we are right now, there's so many resources out there. So I really feel like there's almost no excuse.
Exactly.
So I just think that it would be awesome to be part of that.
Yeah. So no, I wish you well with that.
Thank you.
So I look forward to seeing you on Groom Team 1 year. Okay.
Hopefully that's the goal.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, they do that ceremony at Atlanta Pet Fair, and my daughter lives in Atlanta.
Oh, awesome.
All right. So I will be going to the Atlanta Pet Fair because it becomes a tax deductible trip to see
Yeah.
my daughter and drag her to the show. But anyway,
Is she a groomer too, or?
oh no,
Okay.
no, but she has cats. So
Oh, nice.
she'll let me drag her so I could show her all the new cat equipment so that she can take care. And because I had to have a discussion with her. Are you maintaining your cats? Well, yeah, I brush them. And then she shows me the brush. I was like, oh God. Okay,
Oh
no.
no.
Oh no. And
I just saw in a grooming group, somebody said their client used a Barbie brush, like from a doll set to brush their dog.
that would have been better than the brush she was
No.
using. Okay.
Oh
Okay. I'm
no.
just saying she doesn't listen to this, so we're good. Okay.
Yeah, I was just gonna say she's not gonna want to meet up with you in Atlanta.
So we got her, I got her the right equipment, and she contacts me like a couple of weeks later and she goes, boy, my cats aren't shedding hair all over the place anymore.
Shocker.
Wow, really? I did not know that was going to happen when I directed you to the correct tools you should be using.
Right? Life changing for her.
Life changing for her. I'm just glad she doesn't have a long coated cats, and all her cats are short or medium coats.
And
So
hopefully she doesn't deal with hairballs because I can't even. That sound alone just sends me straight to another place.
here's the thing. She got the right equipment. There hasn't been any more hairballs.
Amazing, right?
I don't know how that happened.
Yeah. Did you ever groom her cats or?
No, because I'm not there working.
Yeah.
I will tell, I showed her how to use them, but they're her cats.
That's funny.
Maintain.
I only have dogs, but
yeah, I only have dogs. I only have short coated dogs. Yeah, I could see that one right there.
One that's like a cat. I mean, he kind of counts. You want to say hi? You always want to be involved.
Hello.
Hi,
What's his name?
This is my toy poodle named Mushu.
Oh my god! You know what? He looks like Mushu.
He's the best. I had him laying on his bed, but clearly that's not close enough for him.
Well, Pooh Bear here is sleeping next to me. He's so used to these things. It's like not even whatever.
He's like, Mom's talking to the wall again.
Mom's talking to the wall again. Whatever.
That's awesome.
You know, and sometimes the wall talks back. I don't get it, but well, you know.
Yeah, I wonder what they think sometimes. I'm glad that you're going to be at Hershey, and I really hope that we can maybe compete together. That would be so cool.
That would be fun. That would be fun.
Do you teach at every show or just Hershey?
Just the shows I'm at.
Okay.
If I'm going to go, so Tacoma is my local show now.
Okay.
All right. But if I'm going to another show, then I'm there because I'm teaching. All right. So we won't tell the WPA that I'm going to go to Atlanta Pet Fair anyway. Okay.
Otherwise, you'll be on the roster.
No, I am on the roster. I
Oh,
teach
okay.
there, but you know what? What I love about WPA shows is that they pay my travel.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're not going to tell them I'm going anyway.
So you can get it there.
Yeah. So whatever. That's our secret.
Do you go to Super Zoo too?
I love Super Zoo.
I'm so excited. So there's so many shows I haven't been to. And now that I'm with Pet Edge, I'm able to go to these shows and it's truly incredible, Mary. Like I haven't been to Tacoma. I can't wait to go. And this is my first year going to Super Zoo and I hear about it and I feel like it's going to be like Hershey, but on steroids.
Okay, so
So
now Super Zoo is huge. You can't even compare
yeah,
it to a show like Groom Expo. Their group
really.
is not a huge part of it. Okay.
That's what I've heard.
The retail is, it's wear good shoes.
Really.
It's the only thing I'm going to tell you. I can remember I was there one year and I had two friends who came in. It was there for the first time and they were wearing really cute sandals.
Oh no.
Oh no. But the day two, they had real shoes on.
With like band-aids on their blisters, I'm sure.
Oh, seriously. Yeah. For
Yeah,
funsies, I will wear my Apple Watch just so I can
yeah.
clock how many steps I'm taking when I'm there. And it's like, I'm not even at the show floor. I'm at the show floor door. Okay.
Yeah.
And I've already clocked in like 3,000 steps.
Wow.
And it's just
I'm
going
gonna be
through
so overwhelmed.
you know what? It is overwhelming. All right. Take it in bits and pieces. All right.
Yeah.
That would, if a show like that, for those who are overwhelmed by the amount of energy that are there, figure out where you want to go first. So like your must sees. If you're
Mhm.
just doing the tourist thing and sightseeing, pick an area, do an area, stop, and pick another area later down the line. Okay. But
Yeah.
I already know my must-haves, the vendors I want to see, and I will go through their website. It is the one show that I go through their website and see who's going to be there and what products I might want to check out. It's the only show I do that.
You have to map it out.
I will map it out. I will know that these are and I will list out the must boots.
Yeah. So you can make sure that you get to them. I've
I make
heard it
sure,
takes over a day to get through it.
it is at least over a day. All right.
Wow.
So the Friday I'm not teaching on the show. So that day will be fully dedicated to hitting all of the show. Wednesday, I'm teaching all day. And as you know, with Boss Pet, we are launching something really cool. Did they tell you about that?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
they did. I'm really excited.
So we're having a meeting on it on the Wednesday. So no, Thursday, I'm teaching all day. Wednesday, I have one class, and then right after that, I got to run over to that meeting. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So only Wednesday morning I have to walk the show besides the Friday.
Oh no, you better get your coffee early.
I will be getting, it's one of these things like here, now that I'm retired, my alarm goes off at 8 only because Cecil gets his insulin shot. So I get up for that.
Mhm.
But I have no rush to start my day. There's no rush. All right. So this podcast started at 11 o'clock my time. Okay.
Nice.
And I haven't even gotten to work yet. So after the podcast, I'll be like, okay, to work. But I will tell you, at Super Zoo, I will be up at the butt crack of dawn so I
Yep.
can go get breakfast. And then I'm going to be hitting the floor.
I'm a little nervous because I feel like that I won't be competing in Super Zoo because it was kind of a last minute thing. I didn't think I was going to be able to go. So I missed the registration. But when I'm competing, I am like, everything has to be mapped out. Usually I'm prepping my poodle at 5 a.m., to make ring time at 7. So I feel like I might be prepared, but it's just, I never come home from a trade show feeling like, wow, I was so relaxed, It's like
Okay.
go, 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 go.
Okay. So, you'll know if I've made rescue rodeo because I will be posting all about it
Oh,
all over
yay.
all the social medias. Okay.
And you've never competed, right?
Oh no, I have never, not ever have
That's so
I ever been in
awesome.
the ring. So and it was one of the few things that I have actually regretted not doing that while I
Mhm.
was still working for Petco. Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
I think
uh,
everyone should even experience it once. It's not gonna be for everybody,
no,
you know?
it's not going to be for anyone. Like I said, I had two good Bichons that I could have, but then I went
Yeah.
mobile. All right. And then once I went mobile, so this is 2002, I literally like doubled and tripled the pricing of shop grooming when I did
Oh,
that.
yeah.
And so my two Bichon people didn't want to pay what I was now going to charge them to
Yeah.
keep their Bichons in show trim. So,
Mhm.
it went kind of by the wayside. And I was at a trade show and it might have been Pet Quest like 1,000 years ago. And I
Mhm.
forget, but I was traveling. I think I was on my way to actually pick up a van or was on vacation. I don't remember what the circumstances were. Okay. But I was thinking about bringing my golden retriever. Okay.
Aw.
And he had a nice coat. And you know what? I could have competed with him in sporting.
Yeah.
And I'm like, nah, I don't want to bring him. Okay. And
Yeah.
I'm there and I'm at the show. And you want to know what? Only two people were competing in sporting.
Wow.
Yeah. I could have come back home with a third place
Yep.
trophy at the very
Right off
least
the bat.
place
Yep.
trophy. Called it a career.
I wish they still allowed Goldens in sporting.
Oh no, at that
That's
time,
something that I miss. Like I totally I didn't enter then when it was still a thing because I have two show clients, show Goldens on my schedule now, and they always ask me like, "Do you want to take them?" And I wish I could.
no. Okay. Goldens were allowed because one of the ones up on
Yeah,
the stage was a golden retriever. Uh,
yeah,
so yeah. Anyway, oh well, maybe I'll
I
get my
know.
chance. So everyone, good wishes that I get into rescue rodeo.
I'm gonna be tagging you in it when they release when the registration
I'm
is.
actually, I'm actually going to be contacting the people at Barkley asking when does it open? I want to know the precise time it opens. Okay.
Yes, they usually will post. They've been doing it a little bit differently, and they've been posting different days that the registration opens for different levels. So, like entry is one day, intermediate's one
I
day,
wonder
opens
if
another.
okay, hold on. We're doing a little reconnaissance. Groomexpo.com.
Yeah,
Oh no, wrong Groom Expo. That's West.
that's Pasadena.
Groomexpo.com. Let's see. It says thank you for visiting Groom Expo. Previous information. Nothing's up yet.
Yeah, they haven't. I haven't seen it. I try to follow their Facebook page, Barclays, because they'll usually post it there. But there's a few of us that will just like tag each other right away when we
Oh,
see it.
please tag me.
So I will. Yeah. 'Cause sometimes it can slip through the cracks, especially well, you're not mobile right now, but when I'm working day to day, it just completely slips my mind and then you
Oh
miss
no, if
it.
I know it's coming in, there's going an alarm on my phone.
Yeah. And that's the other thing. I don't know if you struggled with this being mobile. You would think I'm pretty much in the city. I lose service so much when I'm mobile. There's some houses where I'm like, wow, I can barely even text them that their dog is ready. So I always have to schedule to like stop at a Starbucks and be on their Wi-Fi to register.
Okay, listen, yeah, everyone's gonna be late today, just so you know, because I gotta get into competitions.
Yep. I've had a client actually let me into their house. Like, obviously that's normal, but she was like, "Come on, like my Wi-Fi is really strong. Come in here." So she was trying to help me out.
Okay, well, I love customers like that.
Me
So
too.
you've been mobile for a couple years now, correct?
Almost 2 years. September will be 2 years.
All right.
Yeah, it was a dream for about 5 years before that.
Okay. So, all right. I'll say I love mobile. All right. I was mobile. I went mobile in 2002. I never
Yeah.
looked back. I tell people that if you had to put me back to work, okay,
Hmm.
I would sooner work for flipping burgers at Burger King than I
Yep.
would work in a shop. Okay.
Honestly, I feel the same.
Right. No, it's mobile or nothing. So when I first retired and I moved out here, right? So I'm
Hmm.
checking out all the vets and stuff like that and seeing, who's going, which vet I wanted for my dogs. And
Hmm.
they're showing me, they're giving me the tour around the place. And I noticed like this the little cubby area and there's a grooming
Mm.
table there. All right. And so I'm like, stop looking at it, Mary. Stop looking at it. Stop looking at it.
You
Blinders
can't
on.
escape it.
No, please. Do not, I know. So no, I would not work for anything other than being mobile, but I'm not going to do that either. So we're good.
Yeah.
At this
I'm
point.
sure you I'm sure you don't remember too, but when you were actually selling your unit, announcing you were retiring, I messaged you about your unit. I was thinking about buying it, but I didn't have the finances at the time.
Oh, okay.
So
Somebody else
small
did buy
world.
it. Yeah, you know what? And I concluded that sale at Super Zoo, by the way.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, so whatever. But I wanted the van gone out of my driveway. Once I made
Yep,
the decision, I wasn't going to do it. Um,
close that chapter.
but mobile grooming has come a long way. And I'm going to tell you
It has.
the best thing that happened to mobile grooming was cell phones. Easily you can text.
Mhm.
Okay. I love texting. Holy cow, because back in the day, when we walked uphill both ways in the snow to school. Okay.
Yeah. If you're not
Um,
in Florida.
well, I guess we walked uphill both ways in the hurricanes to the school every day of the year. But anyway, we had to do everything via landline, a phone. So you actually had to have an answering machine and you had
Mm.
to return phone calls.
I
Okay.
can't imagine that. I'm gonna be honest. I tell people in my voicemail I don't respond and I don't call people. Just text me.
Text is great. It's, text me. I will text you your appointment. You will confirm your appointment. I will,
Mhm.
and the way I did, I would text them the night before.
Yep.
Okay. Confirm the night before because my philosophy was I would much rather, if I have to pull down your driveway, you're getting charged. There's no
Right.
discussion regarding this. But if you at least tell me the night before where I can either sleep in, finish up early, or have an extended lunch, I'm going to be okay with it. I would
Yeah.
also, being in the Northeast, you need to text me what your driveway looks like in the fall and in the winter.
Oh, I can't imagine that. I can't imagine it.
Yeah. So, you know what? Before I come, and by the time I retired, I had them trained so well. So not everybody had to do it. Just people with
Yeah.
steep driveways or that I suspected
Right.
was not going to shovel their walk. Okay.
Mm.
Text me your
Mhm.
photos. And they knew I would get up in the morning and there would be like photos from my first appointment
That's awesome.
and what
So,
it
like,
looked
at
like.
your own discretion.
Yes. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I can't imagine that. I don't have to the only thing I worry about is the blazing heat. So the AC has to be working tip-top shape 24/7 here, but, I always, like, see in the grooming group, like, Mobile Groomer Zone, I see people talking about, like, their lines freezing, and I'm like, "Oh gosh, I can't even imagine that." Like, let alone driving in the snow, you know?
Oh, yeah. Well, the last
It's a
vehicle I had
different
was,
breed.
it's, it is a different breed.
Yeah.
um, I can't imagine when it rained up by us, when we had like thunder and lightning storms and winds, I'd be like, oh, hell no, I'm not working in this, you know?
Yeah.
And and I would hear that the Florida girls, oh yeah, it's only category 2, you know?
Yep. It's
Working.
always raining here, especially this time of year. And sometimes I have an umbrella with me, but I'm like, it's just gonna be faster if I run with the dog. Of course, I get soaked head to toe. By
Yeah.
the end of my day, it's sunny out again.
So yeah, it's what you get used to. Okay.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
if well, the few times we would have a hurricane, it'd be like, yeah, I'm not working in this crap. you know? And literally, I swear that there was somebody who said it was just, I think it was a category 3.
Mm,
It's just a category 3. We'll be fine. I got to work. I got to get my dogs done. Like,
yeah.
okay. Okay. But I'm sure the other one, they're like blanching it. Yeah. It's only 4 feet of snow. Pfft, we're good.
Yeah, I could see that. I guess if it's your normal, that's
Yeah.
just what
So
you're
whatever
used to
your
because
normal is.
yeah, I could see that. I don't want that to be my normal.
Well, I was tired of that being my normal too, by
I
the way.
don't blame you.
You
Yeah,
know?
so you were mobile in Washington too?
No, 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 no,
Oh,
no.
okay.
That van was sold before I left Connecticut.
Oh, okay. I grew
And
up in Connecticut.
literally, oh, we're in Connecticut.
Southern Connecticut, New Haven County, Naugatuck, like a
Okay.
small town.
Danbury.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's not far.
No, well, nothing is ever too far in Connecticut.
Right, especially
Nobody,
when you think of traveling through Florida.
yeah, no, nobody is more than 2 hours from you, no matter where you are in any
Yep,
part of the state.
yeah,
Maximum drive is 2 hours.
yeah. That's crazy, yeah, I remember the nor'easters, like, I remember snow, but I didn't drive in it,
Yeah, no, I
so
was done. In fact, I had sold the van and literally like 2 weeks later, I was driving out to Washington.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
What brought you over there?
Well, there's a coma show.
Okay.
We were looking for places to retire to, and states had to be pension friendly. I also had to be able to open up my newspaper in the morning and not start a rant fest. And so I had narrowed it down to Arizona, Nevada, and Washington. I never even checked out Nevada. And we were
Mm,
looking in Arizona for a long time, but I wanted the Sedona area, but I
mhm.
can't afford the Sedona area.
I've
Okay.
never really looked over there, yeah.
So that was the surrounding towns. And I remember being out there at the time we were looking, and something came down and that they wanted to declassify cows as animals. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Because then the farmers wouldn't have to treat them as if they were animals.
Oh,
And I was like, yeah, this is now a no.
yeah. You can't get behind that.
So then the Tacoma show happened, and we were just gonna look, and we were gonna look at land. Okay. And so we were just gonna look, and we bought a piece of property
Wow, just when you were looking.
just while we were
So
just,
you knew. I guess when you know, you know.
you know what? It was I love this property. We had the house built on it. Todd likes to say that it was because I fell in love with the Tacoma area because I came out to the show. And I'm like,
Mm.
I was coming out to the show to look at property, but if you want to think that, you go ahead and think that.
I hear Tacoma's a really good show. I honestly really want to go. I actually I had registered for it to compete and like booked everything for it, and then COVID happened.
Yeah.
I was at Atlanta Pet Fair when COVID really became a big thing where they shut down the show, and anyway, I didn't get to go. So that's still on my bucket list of shows.
Okay. It's a nice little show. It really
Yeah,
is. I
I hear it's a nice area.
it's held at the Murano Hotel. Okay. And the hotel is phenomenal. There are very few hotels you want to stay in the area. Okay.
Mm, okay.
Murano would be your top choice. The mistake I had made, all right, was I stayed at the Lower Quinta, and people from the area, when they hear that, I can hear they're laughing right now. They're laughing.
They're
And
like, she did not.
she didn't stay at the La Quinta, did she? Because you know what, we've always stayed at La Quinta. They've always been really great. So I was just
Right.
assumed it would be
Yeah.
fine. So yeah. I didn't make that mistake twice. Let's
It
put it
was
that way.
not fun.
Oh God, no. I was glad I was there with my husband.
Yeah, I
Okay.
can imagine. I'm surprised you didn't check out early.
Well, there would have been no place to go because the Murano was full.
Right. with the show going on. Yeah.
Yeah, no, once the show was over, we did check out and we stayed since we were looking up in this area here. We
Hmm.
the hotel in this area here instead.
I'm sure that was different experience.
Oh yeah, that was What okay. So piece of advice. If you're going to the Tacoma show, do not stay at the La Quinta. Okay.
I'll remember that.
Please remember that one. Okay. So it's a lovely show. It's a small show. Washington groomers are great.
Yeah.
They are really, for the most part, pretty close knit.
I like that.
Okay.
I would imagine a lot of Canadian groomers come down too.
Some Canadian groomers come down too, yes. But
Yeah.
like I said, it's a lovely show.
Yeah, I mean, I have to check it out. I would love it. I don't know how far it is too. I'm probably going to sound uneducated saying this, but I really wanted to see like whales, like whale watching and stuff. And I was just watching a video and they said it was in Tacoma where they were like on their boat.
The sound is right there. Yeah. So go whale watching.
Yeah, I just thought that was so cool. I'm like, wow, that'd be awesome.
There are pods that are here year round.
Mm-hmm.
There are, and I'm going to speak for this area up here because I'm up a little further, but there are 2 orca pods that are here year round.
Mm.
I don't know what pods are in that area year round, but I'm sure there are. So go whale watching.
And see, that's something that's so cool too about traveling to these shows.
The orcas here don't ram the boats because
I've seen that.
because there's really strict rules here regarding how close any boat can get to the whales.
Good. That's what it should be anyway. At least I think so. But yeah, and like I was saying, that's something that's really exciting about traveling to different shows. Like I wouldn't have gone to half of these states was it not for grooming shows. I hadn't even been to the West Coast until this year when I went to Pasadena. I thought that was so cool that I get to experience, I could have done it, but I don't think there would have been motivation behind it.
Yeah,
so I can go for a show and experience different things that I wouldn't normally.
I went to Pasadena for the first time this year myself. And it was a nice show. It really was.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm going to be back next year, I don't know.
Yeah. I really liked it. It's definitely on one of my favorites.
Well, I'm trying to coordinate going down to the Tucson Gem and Mineral Show and making more of a vacation, which means that I would drive down to Pasadena and I believe the show would be beforehand and then come back in the van. Well, not my grooming van. I do have another van, just loaded with everything else that I bought because I could buy it because I'm driving and not flying.
Right. That's always a struggle.
Yeah. Yeah, because Crystal's gonna be a little heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I had to fly with Clippers one time. The first show I went to, Hershey, I got like all gung-ho and I spent way too much money. I was just like a kid in a candy store, and I bought Clippers and I didn't realize that you can't check that in a bag because it's a lithium ion. So I had to take it out every time getting onto the plane. It was a whole ordeal. So anybody that wants to go to a local show first.
And here's the thing is too, right? So I buy crystals, I buy rocks at the Gem and Mineral shows and I fly home. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not putting them in my checked luggage. That is not happening. They're going in carry-on. Okay. Now the problem is they show up as solid objects that look weird. Okay.
They probably pull your bag every time.
Not only do they pull their bag, they're oohing and eyeing over it. So I go, so there's like 5 TSA agents. So you're supposed to be checking other people, making sure they're not putting other stuff.
Everybody's like giving you a side eye, like, why are all these agents over by her bag?
Yeah. They're like, oh, what's this? Oh, this is pretty, And it's like, okay, I got a plane to catch, people. And you got to watch some of these other.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know about some of these people. look a
Yeah.
little untrustworthy.
I just flew back from Washington, actually. I just got a puppy, and there was this big bully stick that the breeder gave to me to come back with him. And I put it in my carry-on, and it was like a huge deal. I guess it like made a big red flag in their computer, and it
Yeah.
was like pulled off to the side. He's like, "Ma'am, don't touch your bag." Like I had to step away, and it was the whole thing. And then he saw it was a bully stick, and he's like, "Is this for your dog?" I'm like, yeah. But I think they thought it was like a baton or something, like a weapon.
He probably thought it was a weapon. I was like, okay, whatever.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right. So
I could see that.
what is the best part about being a mobile groomer?
The freedom. I'm gonna say that. I was never a business owner before this. Actually, that's not true. I did house call on the side for a few years to save for it. But even then, I didn't really feel in charge. When I took over this, when I started this mobile business, I realized after managing multiple salons, working in every type of environment, I worked for a vet short time, a private, at any type of grooming environment that you can think of, I've worked in it for a little bit. So I took from each of those what I wanted it to be, and I made my mobile that. And I think that's my favorite thing, is that I don't do anything I don't want to do. And on the other side, I do everything I like doing. I love taking pictures. I think I was like a photographer in another life or something, but I get to print out their pictures. I have these little a Polaroid camera that I printed out for the clients. So it's just all those little touches that I get to make my own, I think is the best thing. So maybe not necessarily just being mobile, but a business owner in general.
Okay. When I think one of the things that, because I was really pissed because when I left corporate, I was not happy, but I was not happy with corporate. Let's put it
You
that
were
way.
done.
I was
Yeah.
done.
I think we all reach that limit eventually.
Yeah. And then I left and I was at Hershey and I put a deposit down on like the first mobile grooming van I saw. So there was like no research done into the companies or anything like that. Here's a check. Okay. And it took my family by shock because my daughter had just by Yale and I was quitting what was some decent pay coming in from Petco. I mean, I was grooming manager,
Likewise.
to
Yeah.
go on to an unknown. So I went and I took business classes. I got a score advisor. I made sure that I was as prepared as I could. And I think, you know what? They say with women, it's like, oh, it's like really aggressive. But for men, it's just like doing business. But
Yeah.
I went to every single vet. When I got that van, I drove that van to every single veterinarian's office with a box of donuts. All right. Because this was kind of unheard of. All right. With a box of donuts.
What year did you start this?
2002.
Okay.
Okay. So that was 22 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah. And they all oohed and ahed over it. Never seen anything like it. And literally 4 years after I'm retired, I still get the occasional message from a local veterinarian in Connecticut
Yeah.
that needs a referral. Who do I
Aw.
who's still good?
That's
I mean,
awesome though.
several vets who would only refer out to me because I took the time
Yeah.
to show them the van. And like I said, I tell you, I went to every single veterinarian in the area. I went to every single veterinarian in the area. You don't realize how many vets there are until you go to every single one in your area.
Right. No, definitely. And when I started, it was a little bit, I think, different from when you started, because the concept of mobile is already in people's mind. It really, in my opinion, it really blew up during COVID when everything was coming to you.
Yep.
Everything shut down for however long, depending on the state. And even now, everybody gets their groceries delivered, everything comes to them. So they kind of got used to that luxury. I'm sorry if you can hear the storm. It's like a mini hurricane right now, but
you know what? It's the only thing I miss. All right. So I'm in the Pacific Northwest, and yes, it rains a lot, but
Yeah.
it's just rain.
Yeah.
It is
It comes
rare.
out of nowhere. This time of year, it's every day this time.
Yeah, but I miss thunderstorms.
Yeah. I
It
love
is
them.
rare. I've been here for 4 years. I think we've had one thunderstorm.
Don't they say that Washington, all right, maybe that's Seattle. I don't, that it's like a rainy city or something.
It rains a lot. I'm in Squim, which has the nickname Sunny Squim.
Oh, okay.
The way the topography goes, we don't get the amount of rain, but there's things that the area is so used to, they don't even consider it rain. So I'll get up in the morning and like my deck is a little wet.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously it rained, but it was like this little drizzle that doesn't
Yeah.
count.
You weren't aware of until you stepped outside.
Yeah, but it doesn't count. I mean, you could look at the weather app on your phone, and it doesn't even register that.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
doesn't count.
Yeah, and I have an old dog that he's getting up there in age, and as he ages, these thunderstorms really bother him. So I'm constantly checking the radar, and I'm like, all right, 3 o'clock, he's gonna get his sleepy meds, like, because otherwise he is just terrified. But
Yeah. Okay. So
yeah,
I was down in Orlando one year. Went down with my kids and my husband's nieces,
hmm,
and I will swear to you, every day at 3 o'clock it rained
yep,
for like a
especially
half
this time of
hour.
year.
It
When
was
did
like
you come down?
it might have been this time of year.
Hmm.
Okay, that literally you could set your watch to it. Oh,
Yep.
it's 3 o'clock.
Yep.
It's gonna rain.
You always know if you come to the beach here, you always know who is a local because they'll just wait out the storm.
Yeah.
The people visiting run for the hills and go home on their beach day when they see rain.
Yeah. For
The
like,
locals are like, it'll pass in 20 minutes.
yeah, you
And
got the
it
beach
does.
umbrella, right? Right. We're good.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
where do you see yourself in the future?
Professionally,
Okay, let's so now I know you want to make groom team at some point, but but as far as grooming itself is concerned, take out the competitions.
right.
Where do you see your where do you see your business? Where do you see yourself in like 5 years?
I think about that a lot. I always toy with the idea of fleet versus no fleet, adding other vans and employees. I have an assistant that still works for me part time, and she's incredible. If I could clone her, I would hands down not even think about getting more vans and having a fleet. But the service that I offer mobile, I think that there are different mobile services. Like for instance, there's so many here, there's somebody down the road charging $60 mobile. I don't know how they keep their doors open doing that, but they offer a different service. It's very quick. And mine is tailored to a luxury service, one-on-one, low stress environment. So my prices are a lot higher. I also do a lot with social media. All of their dogs get posted every time I see them, and I do these little fun reels with them. So it's more of a personalized experience. And what the reason I'm saying this is because when I think about expanding, I don't really see how that would be possible doing what I do now. I would have to change my services. I would have to have almost like a tier, like you get the owner and this is what you get for this price, or you can get because not everybody likes social media. I can't expect every groomer to post every single groom that they do. So anyway, long story short, right now where it stands, I am staying just a one person mobile. I don't know where that will take me professionally. Obviously, our bodies can't groom forever without breaking. Mine is already breaking and I just turned 30. So I have entered the show world of show dogs. I just got my first, that was why I went to Washington, show prospect, and I've really been loving that. I've been able to have the opportunity to handle for someone else's dogs to see if I liked it. And I just loved it. And I love dog sports. So if there's somewhere in that community for me in the future as well, I don't know what that would be. I'm open to it. So in short, I don't really know. I'm kind of in this stage of my life where I'm really happy with where I am. And I do have goals, but they're not very defined and they're not set in stone. And I feel like maybe they should be, but I just don't know.
All
I
right.
don't know if that answers it for you, but
All right. Well, your goals should evolve.
yeah, and change as it
They
goes.
should
Yeah.
change because when I launched Positive Ed back in 2011, it is a
Mhm.
much different animal than it is today.
Mhm.
And that's because it evolved and not
Mhm.
necessarily carved in stone.
Yeah. And I do really one thing that I really miss about corporate was the opportunity. I was a grooming mentor, which they change the names of what it is all the time. But it's where you train other groomers. And I really loved that. And I really enjoyed that aspect of it. Of course, they had their curriculum, of what you had to check the boxes. But I stepped outside of that and used a lot of the knowledge that I had learned from continuing education. I always take an opportunity to take a seminar if in between competing, and I miss that. I wish I could still do that. So if there's a way for me to do that in the future, maybe there's an academy near me that needs somebody that can train, the newer community of groomers. I think that would be awesome. Right up my alley.
Okay. All right. When you're ready to discuss that, to take those steps, I'll make sure you contact me because that's exactly the type of coaching that I do at this point.
Really?
Mhm.
Okay.
All right. So,
Yeah.
Melanie, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to be here. I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you.
And
It's an honor.
you know what? It's an honor that you take time out of your day because everybody's on a different path. And I think it's really important to see where other people are and where either A, you were or
Mhm.
where you want to be.
Yeah, I agree. And I really do feel that it's an honor to be on here and be able to talk with you. And who knows? Maybe I'll see you in Hershey.
Maybe you'll see me at Super Zoo.
Oh, yeah, I'll see you there too. But I'll
Uh,
see you on stage at Hershey.
that's right. All right. Thank you. Thank you for being here. And everybody join me next week when I interview somebody else making a difference in the pet industry.
Thank you. Take care.